We're conjoined twins, and while I was pregnant with them, I had to come down and stay here to be close to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. They referred us to come to the Ronald McDonald House in Camden, and we started our stay in February 2012. The girls were born March 1st, and we stayed here all the way till January 2013.
Welcome back to the Dawn Show. You know, they say that home is where the heart is, and there's a lot of heart and a lot of love at the Ronald McDonald House. We want to introduce to the show Lauren White, Director of Development, Ronald McDonald House, and of course you already know Teddy, Teddy Thomas of Ronald McDonald House. So, and we're letting Dad and Braden take a little break in the hallway. So tell me a little bit about the Ronald McDonald House, and especially the volunteers, Lauren, because I know that they bring so much.
Yes, absolutely. Without the volunteers, I don't know how we would keep going. We rely on 700 volunteers a year. 700? Yeah, to help support the house in many different ways. When families come back from the hospital.
And here they are wearing their t-shirts.
Oh, there they are, yeah. And when they come back after a long, hard day at the hospital, the last thing they want to think about is what's for dinner. So we have volunteers for our meals. They cook 7 days a week at night, breakfast on the weekends, and sometimes, if we're lucky, breakfast during the week. We have volunteers that, help out at the house. We have transportation drivers, that drive the families to and from the hospital. And then we have our events volunteers. So there's many different ways for people to get involved, and just depending on their time. And then we also have our volunteers at the Ronald McDonald Family Rooms, which are located in our hospitals throughout South Jersey. So lots of volunteers.
How does somebody become a volunteer?
Sure, they just can call the house, fill out an application, and we find whatever it is that best suits their time and needs, and really just get them involved, from the beginning on. So it's great.
It's amazing.
It's really simple.
Teddy, I'm struck by the fact, when you hear Junior talking about what it means to him as a dad, and obviously I'm not getting into his business, but he's a single dad, ex-wife, mom's not in the picture, he has a child with disabilities and needs healing. And so, for somebody like that to come all the way from California, you said you've had people come from around the world. I mean, the parents, there's some sadness and so many needs within the parents, not just the patients. And you must see so much of that in the Ronald McDonald House.
People often ask, isn't it so sad to work there? And my answer is absolutely not. It's happy every day, because you want it to be a happy place for the children, but you also need to have a happy place for these parents to regain some strength and cope on a difficult day. But really the house is, we say, the world's best informal support group. There's no counselor, there's no social worker telling them anything special, but they're all there taking care of each other. It's
and that's what I sense.
Bringing
from
all
Junior.
your friends to live together and then take care of each other. So that's the way it happens.
Oh, that's really beautiful. And that's what I sensed from Junior, that he felt like he had found a place with these parents and a connection that fed him, emotionally, spiritually, whatever you want to say.
And the volunteers are part of that. Lauren mentioned that we have volunteer drivers. They really feel like they get to know them because they're there every morning, afternoon, and evening. So they take them to the hospital, the pharmacy for a prescription, maybe to Walmart for diapers, or the grocery store for something they're dying to have. So they get to talk to them one-on-one in the car. They play with them around the house. You don't get to come just to play because the children are a little shy. They might not want to play with a stranger. But over time, they meet all of the families just by being there volunteering.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell me about the next big fundraiser, the gala.
The gala. This is 30 years for us. The house was founded in 1983 in October. And so this coming Saturday is a big gala at the Borgata in Atlantic City with 700 guests. And we're calling it Pearls and Pinstripes. It's a 1920s theme. So you can dress as your favorite gangster or flapper dress or whatever you like. And we have a wonderful party. We're really looking forward to celebrating 30 years and thanking the founders who made it possible and introducing some of our children and just having a great party.
So, and that's so wonderful that you're celebrating it. You'll have, maybe you need a bell. You need to ring the good news bell at the 30-year celebration, right?
Yeah. Well, it's celebrating that over 22,000 families have stayed at the house in that time.
22,000.
From all 50 states and from 31 other countries. So it's a lot of families who have found a safe haven when they needed it. And so we're really grateful for all that we've done so far, but we're also really excited to be looking at what we can do in the next decade with the funds that are raised. And we're looking forward to expanding the house because we're full every night.
Yeah.
So some families are on a waiting list and they're having to stay at a hotel for a few nights until we can get them in.
How long have you been with the Ronald McDonald House?
Well, I actually have been there from the beginning. I was a volunteer that helped found the house, so I was there on day one when we opened the house.
Teddy was 12 when it all began.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, it was a pretty exciting day. Then we were in a little old row house behind the hospital, much different from now. But at that point, all the children were in the hospital. And so parents got up very early, 5 or 6 in the morning, to be there at the hospital when their child would wake up. They stayed all day and were exhausted, came back at night, ate something, took a shower, fell asleep so they could do it again. And now medicine has changed so much that 70% of the children, such as Braden, get to stay at the house every night with their family. So the house now, instead of being just the haven for the parents, is actually a major part of keeping the family together and the child healing faster because they get to stay with their family, not stay in a hospital.
Oh, which is wonderful. Let's talk more, and especially more about how you can get involved with the Ronald McDonald House when we come right back. So you are back on the Dawn Show, and we're with Teddy and Lauren, and we're talking about the Ronald McDonald House. And when you think about it, home away from home for so many families for months and months. And I love the stories of birthdays, Halloween, I mean, all of the holidays and celebrations that you must have at the house.
Mm-hmm. We want it to be like any family would at their house, where they would have all of those things for children. We are going to have a huge Halloween party, of course, and we have a company that donates costumes for everyone, so they get to dress up completely. And we trick-or-treat room to room.
Wonderful.
We bring in volunteers, and they station themselves around in TV rooms and computer rooms and dining room and everywhere, and the kids get to trick-or-treat all
Who
over the
donates?
house.
Do you want to say the name of who donates?
The costumes?
Yes.
It's actually a person.
Okay, if
And
they don't want to
so-
say, I was going to
yeah,
give them a
probably
shout
not.
out, but
Yeah,
maybe not, okay.
But it's really awesome because the kids love getting their costume and getting all dressed up and going around.
And you were telling me, I love, because we were saying how little Braden is like made for TV. She's such a personality. And you were actually saying that the kids with that same birth disorder, that they all have this amazing spirit. They're brilliant, they're intelligent. I mean, so they have this spirit about them.
Yeah, arthrogryposis children just have an energy, and they light up the room. They're always happy, and that's what you see for most of the kids in the house. There was a mom who told me a story of, seeing this one kid every day, and he would smile at her, and she said, "Oh, yeah, I wonder why he's here." And she never realized that he was missing his leg until
Because she's looking at the smile.
one trip up in the elevator. And ironically, her son had lost his leg in a traumatic car accident and was at Cooper Hospital. So she felt like it was a sign to keep seeing the same child every day and have him smile at her. And that's the connection that people really feel when they come in and they see these children, because it's not looking at their disabilities, it's moving beyond them. and looking past them. And that's what they teach us every day. They're really the inspiration.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I love, Teddy, that you said that, and Braden can see other kids visiting back and forth who are now walking.
Right.
Yeah.
We talked about not only holidays, but birthdays. We have a little girl, Victoria, who's been coming since before she was 1. And she has the same arthrogryposis that Braden has. And she's actually been at the house for her first, second, and third birthday.
And so
we
we
just
want-
had her third birthday and a big cake and the whole bit. And she actually has walked a little bit, taken steps. She's
Which is
back in
great to
cast
see.
now, though. So, you know, they go in and out of these wonderful things, but she will walk completely, as will
Which is
Braden, I'm
beautiful.
sure.
And we're down to our last few seconds. We just want to show one more time about the gala and how you can donate. Please make sure you donate to the Ronald McDonald House.